Hi everyone, welcome back to another update. Given the decent-sized fan circle around the project and the ongoing issue of insufficient self-funding, I decided to open Patreon. If you'd like to see this game finished and released in a more reasonable amount of time and be part of the adventure as we discover together just how far this iconic game engine will let us go in many different aspects, check out the link in description and consider choosing one of the 3 membership options. If we do a really good job with the game, there's a good chance Valve will allow us to release it on Steam as a free standalone mode, not requiring Half-Life 1 to run. Let's now take a look at some progress made on the game itself. As the Mars setting alone would be a bit too short, and as we are attempting community-assisted funding, another smaller setting has been added to the game, a bio-research base on the Jupiter's moon Europa. This setting would be included in one of the 3 to 4 possible endings / choices you'd make at the end of the Mars setting. The research base would be similar to this concept, 2 levels, surface and subsurface ocean network of modules. With these second level modules submerged in the ocean below, suspended from the underside of the icy crust. The 2 levels would be connected by special elevators with a flexible shaft. This setting would have a slower paced gameplay, possibly a horror one. Your main objective here would require you to reach the lower station level, but maybe there's a deadly creature roaming the base interiors, standing in the way. You enter one of the modules, the creature attacks you, disarming and injuring you and turning the gameplay into a tense cat and mouse survival challenge. Something like it, maybe, we would see. This entire surface station level is work in progress. You'd arrive here in a different, smaller craft, not in this MTU craft of yours. We would add thrusters to these modules so they look like they can ascend and relocate in case of an emergency. This gravity is more or less true to Europa's actual gravity. We would add small lifts at these entrances. These airlocks are a bit tight now, need to be bigger to accommodate EVA suits. There would be various creatures on these dissection tables, holograms too. Other modules would include the mess hall, staff quarters, and so on. This is basically how the lab modules would look like, though some with fewer desks and more scientific equipment. In a real-world scenario, the modules might be arranged in a circular formation around a common bridge tunnel, with some modules like these two directly connected, extending a specific space. However, due to engine limitations, we can't implement this setup in full. Instead, the modules would be organized in small connected groups placed on separate maps. This shark would be one of few animals swimming near the lower modules. You'd be able to see through their windows. This magazine cover, a work in progress, is intended for the highest tier patrons. I thought this would be interesting where these patrons can submit sketches for Europa creatures, which I would then nicely render and put on the cover of this magazine, along with their name and hand-drawn photo of them. The models of these mags would be scattered around the Mars setting, and players would be able to see the covers by pressing the use key on the models. The work began on the MTU operative character. We are at early design stages of it. These are some 2D sketches, mostly rough. None of these look particularly good, nothing does at the beginning, but they give a good idea of the direction we are taking. Essentially, we want to do a cool SWAT spacesuit. It would be another tough one, and as with the bot, we wouldn't be rushing it. Here we have some rough 3D sketches. There's a whole list of things to try here, components to design. The subsurface level of the complex on Mars, housing the multi-biosphere annihilator, should be heavily guarded. In addition to bots, we could position a few of these sentry guns down in the tunnels targeting you. The image shows some of its textures. This is the sentry gun brush model, finished to an extent. It's not necessarily the final design, more of a quick prototype, leaving room for further improvement. There's no recoil effect available for this funk tank entity, which is a shame, but perhaps it could be programmed. This was a perfect opportunity to show the health bar in action. One of concepts for the device the dying black being would give you to destroy the annihilator with. We would do some cool idle animation for it with a lot of moving parts. That's it for this video, thanks for watching, consider supporting the project on Patreon and stay tuned for future updates. Bye.